In today's rapidly changing financial landscape, two of America's banking giants, Bank of America and JP Morgan Chase, have issued a warning that could shake the very foundations of our economic stability.
2023 economists widely anticipated a recession in the United States of America.
Do you want to know what it was? Stay tuned. The message that's currently resonating throughout Wall Street is this: consumers have finally run out of steam. In addition, Bank of America has been predicting this outcome since March 2023, when analysts issued a warning that the Fed will force consumers to reach a point of pain in order to control inflation. And now, as per CEO of Bank of America, Brian Moynihan, that moment has arrived. Speaking to CNBC's Squawk on the Street, Moynihan stated that consumer behavior in the US from 2016 to 2019 was consistent with a low-growth, low-inflation economy.
That growth rate, to put it in context, is consistent with where we were in 16, 17, 18, 19, which was what? A low-growth, low-inflation economy.
What does this mean for the U.S. economy? Does this news share that there is more potential for growth in the U.S.? Do share your thoughts in the comments. Customers of Bank of America spend $4 trillion annually, whether they use a credit card or debit card, write a check, confirm a bank transfer, or withdraw cash for spending. According to Moynihan, spending increased by 10% between 2021 and 2022 before declining to 9% in the first quarter of 2023. He continued, the fact that the growth rate has now fallen to 4.5% indicates that people are either too apprehensive about spending what little money they have or don't have enough in their pandemic-boosted savings account to maintain their current spending patterns. September and October are the same. Moynihan went on. That growth rate is consistent with a low-growth, low-inflation environment we had in 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019. Imagine you went to a shopping mall, you had a grocery list that your mom gave you. Moreover, you need to cover every item within the budget. Will you be rushing to a nearby Bank of America to pay your bill, or will you just pay them by using your credit card? According to Moynihan, customer activity has decreased. It has slowed by half, indicating that the consumer is being hindered by the current state of affairs and interest rate environments. Moynihan continued by endorsing Jane Fraser, CEO of Citigroup, when she said that cracks are starting to appear in consumer spending, especially by lower-class customers. Fraser told CNBC that although Citi's data indicates that consumer spending is still strong and growing, the rise has started to come down. In September, he said, the softening of the growth in demand is evident. Fraser continued, they're quite low at the moment, and I think some of the excess savings from the COVID years are approaching to depletion. Lower-end consumers' savings are declining. According to Moynihan, Bank of America has discovered such patterns. According to him, households with median incomes are depleting their pandemic war chests and have smaller account balances. Similar to lower-income households, higher-income households have shifted their assets from checking accounts to investments. Positive balances are declining, and customers in those middle-class households are spending less overall, according to Moynihan. Hence, this indicates that they are overspending relative to their revenue. Moreover, it states that the economy has slowed down, which is compatible with an economy with low inflation and poor growth. While Wharton principal Jeremy Siegel predicts that interest rates will remain unchanged in November 2023, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen stated that inflation rate is very well behaved. Professor Siegel said in his weekly Wisdom Tree column that there is still a lot of economic uncertainty, not the least of which is caused by tensions in the Middle East. Professor Siegel stated, we're primed for a year-end surge in equities and a solid year for 2024. The situation is not very different for JP Morgan Chase. Strong third-quarter earnings were reported by JP Morgan Chase, coinciding with a dire warning from the company's top executive regarding the dangers the globe faces from several sources. In a statement that accompanied the bank's quarterly news release, CEO Jamie Dimon stated, this may be the most perilous time the globe has seen in decades. In addition to the current conflict in Ukraine, the chairman of biggest U.S. bank by assets stated that Hamas's strikes on Israel over over the weekend may have far-reaching implications on energy and food markets, global trade, and geopolitical connections. In addition to the armed forces, Dimon mentioned the growth national debt and the greatest budget deficits ever during peacetime, which he claimed increased the likelihood of continuing high interest rates and inflation. He brought up the high rates as well as the Federal Reserve's attempts to sell off its bond holdings. He added that reduces liquidity in the system at a time when market-making powers are increasingly curtailed by regulations, referring to the procedure as quantitative tightening. Imagine you're an employee working for Morgan Chase. You will get all the insider news from the company and hence have a clear idea about what will happen in the future. However, you were the mindset that the public should know what was happening, and hence you leaked the insider news. You were caught, and now you were in jail, watching everyone living happily. What do you infer from the story? Do share your thoughts in the comments. Dimon has stated that he has been alerting his clients to the potential that interest rates would not only remain high, but might even go much higher from here. We prepared the firm for a wide variety of outcomes so we can consistently deliver for customers no matter the environment, he continued. While we hope for the best, for the July through September period, JP Morgan Chase reported a $13.15 billion profit, which is $4.33 per share and a 35% increase over the same period last year. Dimon issued another warning pointing out that the gains in net interest income and credit costs were probably temporary. Having run JP Morgan Chase for almost 20 years, Mr. Dimon is renowned for his political honesty. The seasoned CEO, who issued a warning about an economic hurricane last year in 2022, expressed worries about the Federal Reserve's quantitative tightening program, the long-term implications of which he claimed were yet unknown. In an effort to combat persistently high inflation, Fed policymakers have approved 11 rate rises in the last year, a significant increase in interest rates. Interest rates increased from almost 0 to over 5% in less than a year, marking the quickest tightening pace since the 1980s. Officials have hinted that until there is more convincing proof that high inflation is permanently declined, another rate increase is possible this year in 2023. Additionally, they have emphasized that interest rates will probably stay at their highest points for a while. Currently, U.S. consumers and businesses generally remain healthy, although consumers are spending down their excess cash buffers, Dimon said, adding, "While we hope for the best, we prepare the bank for a broad range of outcomes so we can consistently deliver for clients no matter the environment." And there you have it, the shocking details behind the serious warnings issued by Bank of America and JP Morgan Chase. But remember, the financial world is always evolving, and what you know today might just be the tip of the iceberg. Now, before we wrap up, if you found today's video enlightening and want to stay updated with the latest in finance, economics, and world events, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Your support means we can continue bringing you the most vital and current information. And don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed our deep dive into these compelling banking developments. Thank you for watching, and remember, in the world of finance, staying informed is the key to staying ahead. Until next time, keep your investments smart and your future brighter.